and thank you everyone for letting us know where you're calling in from. It's so always exciting to me to see all the different places. This is truly a global event, so thank you all for being here. We're at the top of the hour, so why don't we get started? And I think we've got most of our experts on the line, which is great. So let's dive right in. Welcome to today's community event. My name is Megan Watson, and I'm on the AI product marketing team here at Zendesk, and I'm going to be your host for today. Thank you for joining us. We do truly appreciate your time. This is the third session of our post-Relate deep dive series on all the amazing things that we launched and talked about at Relate. And today we're going to be focusing on those AI tools for agents and admins. Before we get started, we want to quickly share a few upcoming events that you might want to bookmark and check out. Again, today is the third part of the Relate Deep Dive series. Our fourth part is going to be on Zendesk for Contact Center. And that event is going to be on June 16th at 11 a.m. Central Time. And fun fact, I'm really excited to announce that the former CEO of Local Measure and now VP GM Contact Center, Jonathan Baruch, will be joining us and leading us in that discussion. So you don't want to miss out. Definitely bookmark this one. We'll share the registration link in the chat, so check it out. And then just for those of you who didn't know, our previous events that we had, the first was on AI agents and knowledge. So we'll share the link for that in case you missed it. And then the second was around employee service. So if you weren't able to join us for those, definitely encourage you to check it out. Again, first one on AI agents, the second one on employee service. And then today we are going to be focusing on, again, AI tools for agents and admins. And that's why we're here. We've got a ton of experts here, either speaking or working in the background to answer all of your questions. Either ones you submitted in advance when you registered for the event, or as they come up here in the QA tab. So a little bit of housekeeping and a friendly reminder if you're new to these events. We have the chat, which is for letting us know where you're calling in from, saying hello to a friend, or reacting to some of the exciting things that we're talking about. But please reserve that Q&A tab for your product questions as they come. That's where all of our experts are going to be working and answering your questions. Please, be patient with them. They're working their hardest to get you an answer. And anything we don't follow up on or are unable to answer, we will follow up on. So this event is being recorded. So we, as an event, like post-event follow-up, we'll be sending you the deck, the recording, and all the questions and answers submitted throughout the event. And with that, I will pass it off to my colleague, Alex, who's going to be leading us in the discussion. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you so much, Megan. Really excited to be here. Can you hear me well? Is it all good? Amazing, perfect. It's my first time doing one of these. I'm really excited to be here, meeting everyone and walking you through all of the amazing things we've launched at Relate for Copilot. So, hey everyone, my name is Alex. I'm joining from sunny Lisbon, Portugal. I'm on Megan's team, also on the AI product marketing team. And along with my amazing cohort of colleagues, we will be walking you through the latest AI capabilities we announced back in March at Relate, focused on AI tools for agents and admins. And for those of you that weren't at Relate, we just wanted to do a quick wrap up of one of our biggest announcements. And that was the launch of the Zendesk resolution platform. And the idea behind it is simple. AI is powerful, but it can't do everything alone. So resolving service issues, especially the ones that require human touch, means bringing together the right AI agents, smart workflows, and people. And so our new resolution platform connects all of these dots. It's that foundation that helps every issue move toward the actual resolution and not just closing tickets. And it's designed to be simple to implement and super easy to use so you can really get value from it. And today, from the resolution platform, we will be focusing on one of the core parts, which is Copilot, our AI assistant that supports agents and admins in real time. And that's really where Copilot shines. It's built for those moments when automation alone isn't enough and the help of Copilot is needed. So, and while AI agents are handling a lot more on their own, a lot more volume, there are still plenty of cases where a ticket needs to be handed off to a human. That's where our Copilot comes in. So it surfaces the right context, it guides the next best step, and even takes action when possible. And it's already live, helping a lot of teams resolve issues faster and work more efficiently for a while, with up to 3 times productivity gains. And with the new capabilities we've launched that relate, many of which we'll see today, Copilot is even more proactive, more connected, and more useful in helping teams stay focused and do more, a lot of the work that matters with the customers. And to break that down, we'll look at what's new across 2 key areas. First, how to assist agents and how Copilot is giving human agents more support when they need to step in. We'll show how it can now surface knowledge from more sources, provide inline instructions, and trigger external actions in Jira or Slack, all from a single suggested step. Then, how to optimize service workflows. That's the second key area. This is where we will focus on the admin experience. We'll show you how Copilot helps you manage AI capabilities more effectively, track usage, and act on insights, whether that's configuring routing based on intent and sentiment, or using recommendations to identify where automation can drive the most impact. And we'll walk you through these updates, not just at a higher level, but with practical tips. We'll show them in action, and so you can start applying them right away. Okay, let's start with how we're making it even easier for agents to get the guidance they need. Starting with action flows. These are all about helping agents go beyond just responding. They let them take action directly from within the ticket. These flows are built using Zendesk's Action Builder that we also announced at Relate, where admins can define no-code steps that connect with tools like Jira, Slack, or Shopify. Each action is tied to a step in a procedure. When Copilot detects a match, it suggests the right action, like creating a Jira ticket or posting a message on Slack right inside the agent workspace. And the agent just needs to review and approve. The rest runs in the background, no switching tabs, no copy and pasting details. It's all set up ahead of time by the admin using pre-built connectors that are super easy to set up, and it runs securely through our API. This is super useful for cross-system tasks that take agents out of their flow. Now they can stay focused and get more done with fewer steps. Next, let's see how Copilot can now surface even more relevant answers. With expanded knowledge sources, Auto Assist can pull directly from Help Center articles to generate suggested replies. So if a customer asks a common question and there's no defined procedure yet, agents still get an AI suggested answer based on the content you already have. So this lowers the barrier to value from Copilot. No setup required. Just make sure your content is clean, scoped, and up to date. Is especially useful for high volume, low complexity topics like shipping or refund policies. And finally, the third thing we wanted you to take a look at from this side of the Agent Assist part of Copilot is for moments when the agent has to take manual action or use judgment. We've introduced instructions. Instructions let you give agents real-time inline guidance inside a procedure step. So they know exactly what to do when AI can fully automate it. That might be for compliance steps, internal processes, or exceptions where rules don't cover every single case. Admins write these instructions directly into the procedure. They're shown only when relevant and can be tailored by team, region, or experience level, for example. So newer agents or BPO teams always have the context they need to handle it right the first time. And with that, I'll hand it over to my colleague, Jakub, that will show you how it all works in practice.
Hi everyone, great to be here. So let's do this. All right, so I will show you a live demo of a few features related to Auto Assist. And in this window, I will be playing the role of an agent. And here I will be playing a role of a customer. And we will go through a ticket that will be assisted with Auto Assist. So to kick things off, I will, as a customer, just ask to talk to a human. And I have to share my details. So let's quickly do it. And this ticket will be about technical support. So what this is going to do is this is going to create a ticket. So here I can accept the ticket, but before I do it, I just wanted to tell you about Agent Home. So in Agent Home, an agent can see tickets related to Auto Assist. And this is a great place to just view your work and see, for example, where you have to do something and where you are still waiting for a customer reply. So these tags here, they inform me that for this ticket, for example, I should review a suggestion that Auto Assist created, and here I know that I'm still waiting for a reply. So this is a streamlined way to work on tickets with Auto Assist, where you only react to things that need your attention. But yeah, let's get to our ticket. So I'm going to accept this ticket. And what Auto Assist is going to do here is it will analyze the content of this ticket, and it will suggest what should be said. So let's give it a minute. And Auto Assist is also looking not only at the ticket content, but also at ticket fields. So it's taking everything on a ticket into account to create the reply suggestion. And here we can see that it's suggested to say, "Hi, Jakub, thanks for reaching out to our technical support team. How can I assist you today? And please let me know about your technical issue or question." So as an agent, I only have to review and approve it. And here as a customer, I have to provide more data. So yeah, more information. I'm just gonna say, you know what, my thermostat broke. Maybe let's correct this typo. And again, here Auto Assist will look at what was said, and it will come up with a suggestion of next step. Those suggestions come from procedures. I will show you this in a minute. And yeah, we have a suggestion already. So I'm sorry to hear your thermostat isn't working, Jakub. To help you further, could you please provide the serial number of your thermostat? You can usually find this on the back of the device or in the settings menu. Once I have that, I can run diagnostics. So as an agent, I know this is exactly what should be happening. So again, I'm just gonna approve it. And here, I'm gonna provide the serial number. And here, a few things should happen. So Auto Assist should suggest some actions. So this is the really powerful capability of Auto Assist, that it not only suggests things to say, but it also suggests actions, and then it can execute those actions for the agent. And this is where most of the time savings actually come from. So here we can see that it's suggested to change the serial number field to the value mentioned by the customer. And it's also suggesting to run diagnostic action. So as an agent, again, I know this is what should be happening. I'm going to approve it. You can see that the number updated. And we can already see that there was an internal note posted with some information. So we have information about the firmware, about the status of the device, if this is connected to network, when was the last update, and we can see that the update failed. So this already gives us some information where the problem might be. But again, we want Auto Assist to actually suggest things to do and say. So let's wait and let's see what it's going to do. So it's saying, "Thank you for providing the serial number. I'm running diagnostics. Please give me a moment while I check the results, and I'll update you with the next step as soon as I have them." So yeah, that all makes sense. And I'll say, "Thanks, appreciate it. The device seems completely unresponsive," let's say. So the beauty of this thing is, AutoAssist is not looking for any keywords or anything. It's totally generative, so it will understand if the customer makes typos, etc. And so you don't have to create any strict flows for it. So yeah, let's see what it's suggesting to say. So it's saying, thank you for your patience. Unfortunately, your thermostat is not responding to diagnostic and appears to be broken. Would you like us to send a replacement device? Please let me know. So yeah, that's exactly what should be happening in this process. And as a customer, that's of course a nice resolution to have. So I will say, well, sure, let's do this. And here, a few things should happen. A pretty cool thing. We, for example, should create a custom object with the order. So AutoAssist should do it for the agent. It should also suggest a few other actions. So let's see if it's going to do it. So, for me, those demos are always exciting because every time it acts slightly different. It sticks to the procedure, but it's always, saying things a bit differently. So yeah, we can see that it's suggesting to say a few things and then create this new order. So this is what we want. I'll approve it. And the order should appear here. It's going to take a few seconds because it's a custom object, and we can see that it's here. If I click here, I can actually view the custom object, that the status is ordered. We have a shipping address that we pulled out from customer record, and we have even an external ID. So yeah, that's really it. And we can also do one more thing. So as a customer, I can have one more question, because why not? And I'll ask it right now. So I'll say, actually, while I have you, my door lock battery is draining really fast. Any idea why? I made a typo, but that shouldn't be a problem. And here we actually don't have a procedure for something like this. We don't have a procedure for this question. But what we have is we have articles that cover this problem. And because AutoAssist has access to articles, it should pull information from an article. So yeah, it's actually using this article. So you can see that here are some steps. And at the end, it's even giving the link to the article. So I'll approve it. And here, this is the article that it pulled the information from. So yeah, here you have it. This is how things work together. And I also wanted to show you how this looks from a procedure perspective. So all of this up until this point was directed by this procedure. So this is just a plain text description of steps that should be followed. They do not have to be followed in an order. So, AutoAssist will adapt and it will just pull the right step when it's needed. And here you can see references to actions that were used. So we can just instruct AutoAssist to execute a given action in the right time, and it will do it. And you might ask, what are the actions? Like, how do they look like? How do you configure them? So you can actually do it through Action Builder. And here, this is the diagnostics action, and it combines a few different steps. So for example, there's a way to trigger this through AutoAssist. Then you can create an action that actually looks up something in your internal system. And this is done through custom actions. Custom action is basically a way for you to call most of the API systems or third-party tools and request information or update information. And then in action flows, you can combine however many actions you want together. They also include things like updating ticket or even connecting to Google Sheets, Jira, Salesforce, Slack. And we're constantly working on more integrations and also on more steps. So you can do a lot of things within Zendesk, and you can also branch those actions. And then these actions can be called from AutoAssist and executed. So this is when this is going to save your agents a lot of time. And I have one more thing, and that thing is instructions to agents. This will be demo run through this Figma tool. And here you can see that AutoAssist is providing a reply suggestion. So let's approve it. but there will be a new thing here. So you can see this element with instructions, and agent can hover over it to view instructions in the thumbnail, but they can also click on it, and that will actually pull up the whole instruction set and open it in the knowledge panel. So as an agent, I can, first approve this message. It says, please hold on a moment while I'll start the return process. So I'll approve it. And here I can just go through these actions as an agent and, either complete or not complete them. And then AutoAssist will react accordingly. So let's go through the happy path, and let's say I completed and I submitted the return. So as soon as I do it, AutoAssist will start working on the next step, and it will suggest a reply that says your return has been approved. Please follow these steps, etc. So I will approve it. And this is really a great way for your agents to always follow the right process. So if something has to be done by an agent, this is like a really nice way to make sure it gets done. And you can also do things here that AutoAssist currently cannot do. So maybe you have some old system that it's really hard to connect to through an API or something. So you can always use instructions to just ask your agents to do this. There's one last thing I just wanted to show. This is how instructions will be defined in procedures. So, you create a procedure like always, and you will be able to insert instructions to agents. And at the given, at the right ticket lifecycle time, it will be presented to the agent. And you can insert multiple instructions in a single procedure. And we think this is going to be a really, really powerful addition to AutoAssist. So that's what I had for you today. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great seeing all of that in action. And to wrap that up, and this assists your agents part, I wanted to combine a little bit here a lot of the best practices for all of these three new features. And now you can get the most value out of them. And starting with action flows. These are ideal for repetitive cross-system tasks like bug logging or order lookups. Think from the agent's perspective. Give each action a clear name and description so they know exactly what they're approving. Test flows with a small group, and this is works across a lot of these new features as well, to confirm everything works as expected, and use pre-built connectors when available to simplify setup. Just remember, action flows are one way, so while they can update external systems or ticket fields, they can't return a response back into Copilot. Next, looking into expanded knowledge sources. When no procedure exists, like Jakub showed, Copilot falls back on articles and macros. So the quality of what's being surfaced depends on how well that fallback content is written and structured. So review procedures if you have them when created or updated, and test with a small group to make sure AutoAssist is reading the steps as intended. Keep the articles focused. For example, don't bundle issues like reset password or an unlock account in one place. This makes it easier for Copilot to match the right answer to each topic. And also write standalone content for high volume how-to questions like login issues or refund eligibility. So these are great candidates for fallback replies. And finally, use macros to handle common repeatable questions that don't need to have like the full documentation. And finally, looking at instructions, these work best for steps that Copilot can't automate, like Jakub was saying, like manual approvals, judgment-based tasks, or even actions that need to happen on like outdated tools that it's really hard to connect via an API. So you can tailor them also by group or region, and many teams use LLMs internally to turn long SOPs into clear step-by-step guidance. And just like with flows, test with a small group first to ensure clarity and context. And that's it for the agent side of things. Now let's shift to the admin side and see how we're really helping you go one step further in optimizing and managing AI across the entire service workflow. Starting with AI Insights Hub. This is where your centralized space to manage Copilot end-to-end now lives, with guided steps that show you exactly what's already configured and what still needs to be set up. You can use it to enable key features like intents, entities, or auto assist without jumping around the admin center. You'll also see usage metrics to track how AI usage is performing across the team, and recommendations that are AI powered and are surface where you can drive more automation, like setting up an auto reply or adjusting a routing logic. It's designed to make AI setup and optimization less reactive and more actionable, giving admins more visibility and control without the need for any complex setup or external reporting tools. And now moving into all of the improvements that we've done to intelligence triage to make them even more customizable. You can now define your own custom intents in the product to reflect how your customers actually are describing the issues, making it easier to route more accurately. You can also extract key details like product names or account IDs using entity detection, which helps with things like auto-populating fields or triggering specific flows. And we've added the dynamic tracking of intent and sentiment as well. So if a customer's tone shifts in the middle of the conversation, you can route or escalate accordingly. When these signals are combined, you unlock an even smarter automation and more targeted workflows. And with working.
Hello, everyone. So now I will start by going through the Copilot and give you an overview of how it looks like. So everyone with the Copilot add-on will be able to see everything that I'm showing on this demo. So the Copilot add-on, as Alex shared with us, it's a centralized place where you can have all the Copilot features, and that will help you to understand how to onboarding on those features. So we have a step-by-step guidance throughout each feature, explaining it, and where you can go following all the steps in a very explanative way in order to start using each one of these features. One of the things that you have is a kind of checklist with all the features so you can understand if they are enabled or not and how to easy access to them. One of the most requested things that we got was metrics. We want to understand how AI is helping in my operations. So we are here in this single page giving you visibility about AI usage with the key metrics that you need to see to manage your Copilot features. This will give you the possibility to understand what agents are using or how many agents are using Agent Copilot, and even understanding how intelligence triage features are helping you automatizing your tickets. The last section of the AI hub, it's the recommendations. We decided to build these AI-driven recommendations that are suggesting you triggers based on the intents to help you optimize your operations. So each recommendations that we have here, they are based on three main components. Okay, so this is based on the agent manual actions that they do on your tickets, and here we are leveraging those insights so you can create workflows, and in this case it will be triggers that will help you automatize some of the manual actions that the agents are doing. We always try to explain you the rationale why we are suggesting this recommendation. What is the recommendation? So we explain you that you need to create a trigger that does, in this case, route the ticket with this intent to the right group, and what is the impact that it will have. Okay, this impact is measured based on the tickets that we use it to provide you these suggestions. When we click on Get Started, as well, we give you a step-by-step guidance on what you need to do to implement this trigger, and this help is contextual. So if you navigate to the triggers page and so on, you will keep having this help panel help you to understand how to set up this trigger and implement it correctly. So now that I already passed through the AI Hub, I will now move to the intelligence triage part. The intelligence triage area, it's consisted by intents, entities, sentiment, and language. I will start by going through the intents and then move to the other features. So the intents help you to detect the reason behind each ticket. With this information, we can grab insights to help the agents to understand what they should do with the ticket, but we can use this information to create workflows as the recommendations that we are providing on the AI Hub. So to start, we provide you a set of intents, a set of pre-trained intents in each account. And the Zendesk has a Zendesk intent model that was trained with a lot of real customers' data, and these are the intents that we provide out of the box. But we know that each business has their own specificities, so what we just launched is the ability for you to create your own intents. And now I want to go through that and show you how you can create your own intents. So just to recap, I'm in the intent page, okay? And this is the list of intents that you have available. Each account will have their specific list of intents. And when you go here to create an intent, you will create and start the process to create your own intent. And I'm saying process, but it's a really, really simple and straightforward process. So I will create an intent that is the error in account update. This is just an example. And then you can create any intent that you want. And so you will see through the demo what you will have here. So let me just create a description for the intent. One thing that I want to explain you is that the description is super important for the intent. So the description will help you to provide context to the model about what this intent is. So as more descriptive you are, the model will provide a better prediction around this intent and help you detect better that intent on the tickets. So it's very hard to write and talk at the same time. So I will try to just finish the description. I will place, and this is thing, so every intent needs to be placed on a specific category because we have an intent tree, basically with 3 levels. We have the category, the subcategory, and the intent itself. So when I press the button, the intent is created. So this was the huge and hard process of creating a custom intent. To find my intent, so if you go to the filter and you search by custom, we have here our new intent. One of the things that I want to show you, so we have here the tag new saying that this was just created. And when you come here, you can manage the intent. And this is one thing that I would like to talk about is you can change any intent, even the default ones provided by Zendesk. By changing the intent, you will affect the intent model prediction. So you can evolve the model by changing the intent name and the intent description. So getting back to my list of intents, and just to finish here, you are able to deactivate the intent. So if, for instance, this intent is no longer relevant for your business, you are able to deactivate the intent and it will not get predicted anymore. Okay. However, you will still be able to see these intents in the past tickets where it was predicted. So now that we already talked about intents, let's move forward to the entity detection. So the entity automatically detects important keywords or phrases in each ticket. The intent and the entities are very, very powerful together because they can help you automate your workflows and really streamline those workflows with these detailed conditions. Okay. In this case, I really just want to show you what was the entity that I created. So the entities are custom fields. Okay. And basically here we have 2 different entities. One is a drop-down, so basically it's an entity where you just have a list of values. And the one that I will focus on is this entity that is a regular expression field. So what this will do is that we have a regular expression, so we have a pattern, and we will be able to detect this pattern in your text. So one of the things that we did was, in this panel, you are able to understand if your regular expression is working well for your needs. And I really advise you to always try to do this, because sometimes when we are building the patterns, we don't think about all the patterns that we are able to detect. And in this case, for instance, I want to detect my error and something. So this way, I'm sure that even if my pattern, that is this error here, it's in the middle of the sentence, in the middle of the email of the customer, I'm sure that it will be detected. If I just want to have it in the end, I know that it will be detected as well if it is standalone on my ticket. This is how we should test always these patterns, and making sure that our regular expression serves the purpose that we want. Okay, so, and just for you to understand the line of thought here, what I will want to show you in the end is I will send an email for this account, and where the customer is complaining about an error that they have in the account, they will place a specific error, and I want to be able to detect that intent and the error that is happening, okay? And what is the sentiment of the customer? And that's where we will go now. So on the sentiment, basically, and as the features say, it is to detect how the customer is feeling about the request. And in this case, it is very important for us to understand that, because we might want to deal with the customer in a different way if the customer is with a negative sentiment or with a positive sentiment. Okay, that's the scale that we have. We have 5 levels of sentiment in this case, and basically you are able to create the automations that you want to have here. So for instance, if you have agents that are very, very good handling with customers that are a bit more angry, you can redirect tickets that, for instance, have the very negative sentiment to those agents. So in that way, you are able to have a better customer service for your customers. Or even you can check, for instance, what is the CSAT of your tickets based on the sentiment of the customers, and you can do that kind of analysis. So on the sentiment, what I want to show you here, at Relates, we launched the update of the sentiment based on the last message. This is here, okay? And what this does is that, as the name says, what this does is to, whenever the ticket and the conversation goes along with the customer, the sentiment gets updated on the ticket. So for instance, if the sentiment started neutral or positive, but then there was something that made the customer to be upset, you are able to get the new sentiment of the customer, and you will be able to act on that. So you can see and create a workflow that will tell you if the customer is upset or not in the ticket conversation, and act as you want to do that. So one last thing before I finish, I want to show you triggers. So I will just go here to the triggers. I prepared a trigger here, and I want to go through Git just to include our new custom field. So let me, custom field, no, custom intent. So the intent that I want to put here, it's the error in account update. It is here. So I will save. And basically what this ticket, what this trigger is doing is, when I have a new ticket, when I have a new ticket with this intent and with this sentiment and the entity, I will redirect this to the technical agents group, because it's the best agents to act on these kind of tickets. So in my other screen, if you don't mind, I will just send an email for this account where I will just send the email that I was saying in the very beginning, where I want to complain or say that I'm having an error on my account. So let me just prepare the email. 1 second. And I'm having problems with the 2 screens. So it's done, and I can come here, and let's see, wait a second. So basically, we are now moving to the agent workspace to make sure that everyone is localized. And in here, I will show you what is the view of the agents and what they can expect with the things that we just set it up. So this was the ticket that I created. And what you can see here is, you can see the email that I just sent, okay? In the header, you are able to see the intent that was detected. And as you can understand, this was the custom intent that we created, okay? And this was the sentiment neutral. One thing, just for the sake of the demo, I will just reply to this and I will say, hello, you should restart your computer and it should work. I know this is not a great example of customer support. The worst thing that everyone hates to hear, that is restart our computer. I completely understand you, but I want to just follow this example. And basically, with this, what I would like to point you out is that, as you can see, we have an highlight on the entity here. So what this means? What this means is that the entity, the pattern that we define with our regular expression is being highlighted on the ticket. So what this means is that the agent will see very easily the intent and even the entity. Okay, so if he wants to answer to the ticket and understands what is happening, he can very quickly do it. Okay. Another thing that I want to highlight here is, as you notice, I create a trigger with this custom intent and all these default things. And what happened was that the ticket was automatically assigned to the right team that should handle this ticket. So this is the kind of things that you can do to automatize and make your operations more efficient. So you can pick on these insights that we are automatically extracting from the ticket and route the tickets to your agents, or even prioritize, do whatever you believe that is better for your operations. So you can find all this information that I just shared here, okay? And now I just replied to the email of the agent, super frustrated with this response and saying that I don't believe that he's saying to me that I need to restart the computer and that they are always horrible. And I want to show you what this will make. Okay, so if you notice, first the sentiment was negative, it was neutral, and now it is negative. So what this happened was that with this last message from the customer, my sentiment of the ticket was updated and I will be able to act on it. So I already had the trigger for when that sentiment was negative, and what I did was increase the priority. I want to make sure that when the sentiment is negative for my business, that I will handle these tickets much faster and with a higher priority than the others. So this is it. So we provide you like all these features, like understanding the reason for the customer to contact you, how the customer is feeling, extract keywords that are super specific for your business from the tickets, and you can get all those insights for your agents to see, but you can use them to leverage your operations. And of course, your admins can control everything and understand all of these things on the AI app. I hope that you have enjoyed this demo. Any questions, just let me know.
But remember, you'll be getting the recording in the deck. So make sure to check out the best practices related to the different areas of the product we're talking to. And so with that, I'm going to jump on over to the prompt-based reporting. So let me bring up that slide really quick.
Hi everyone. I'm going to walk you through prompt-based reporting. It lets you ask questions in your own words and get an instant answer back in the form of a report. It removes the barrier of needing an analyst for insights. And here are a few things that prompt-based reporting can do for you. So firstly, it will help reduce repetitive reporting tasks and save admins time manually creating reports. You'll also be able to respond to trends in real time, whether it's an executive request or a sudden shift in data. You can instantly surface accurate insights so you can react quickly. And secondly, it will also eliminate the need and uncertainty of having to manually select the right data sets, metrics, attributes, and instead, trusted AI will now do this for you. And lastly, your entire team can actually use prompt-based reporting to proactively answer their own questions without needing reporting skills. You won't need dedicated analysts to answer simple questions anymore. So with that, let's dive right in. I'll go ahead here and share my screen so you can see what prompt-based reporting looks like. So is that showing up correctly?
Yep.
I guess it is. So
Yes.
thank you. So I am starting from a dashboard that I have created. So I have the context of where I'm building my report. And out here on my left-hand side, I can activate prompt-based reporting. And it really works the same way as you're probably, most of you used to with ChatGPT. You can start typing in a question and then the system will help you based on your request. And if you look here, you can see that I have two options. I can now just start typing, or I can also get the help from some pre-populated prompts to get me started with this. So let's try that. Let's see the number of tickets that we got last week, but that are still unresolved. Oh my God, that's a lot. That's a lot. So from here, I can either go go to Report Builder, but I can also keep refining this question using prompt-based reporting. So I'm actually interested in what groups is it that has all these tickets. So I can just say like break it down by a group. Now prompt-based reporting will start creating another visualization where you can see a bar chart here with groups. You can see that refunds, they are one of the groups that they have a big backlog. Maybe they should start using some of the nice features that we just saw Jakob and Magda show. Maybe some auto assist would help these folks get back on track. But for the time being, what I'll do is that I'll add this widget to my dashboard right here, and I can resize it a bit here on my dashboard. And with that, I can keep an eye on if we can see some good progress on getting that backlog minimized, hopefully very, very shortly. And that was a quick demo of prompt-based reporting, and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Liv. And thanks for accommodating a quick shift in the agenda. So we covered a lot. We were able to see a lot in product, and thank you all product experts for walking us through that. We're now going to transition to everyone's favorite portion of these events, which is the live Q&A. And again, a friendly reminder, these were questions that were submitted when you registered. And so we were able to handpick a few. Obviously, we weren't able to address all of them today, but we have answers for all of them and we'll send them in the event follow-ups. So we'll start out with you, Liv. When will prompt-based reporting be available?
Thanks for the question, Lydia. I hope everyone is as excited about prompt-based reporting as we are. The EAP will open up in June, and we expect general availability later this year in the third quarter.
Very exciting. I myself am very excited. I know it was a short demo, but a very powerful demo, and I think a lot of us here are very excited to see that come in. All right, one more for prompt-based reporting. Which plans is prompt-based reporting available for?
So thanks for the question, Robert. This feature will be available for Explore Pro Plus and Suite Pro Plus packages.
Perfect, thank you. Thanks, Liv. All right, next question is for Alex from Tone. What are some important things you recommend doing before getting started with AI?
Yeah, that's a great question, Tom. Thank you. And we really get a lot, because getting AI right, it's not just about the tech itself, it's also about how we roll it out across an organization. And we generally recommend a method to help guide teams that is a 3-step framework with prepare, pilot, and operationalize. And first, with prepare, this means making sure the foundations are in place, clean ticket data, clear routing rules, and a sense of where AI can actually make a difference. It also means aligning with all of the key stakeholders like operations, enablement, and analytics. So teams are not building in a silo. And next, with Pilot, it's even though tools like Copilot work across the full account, you can still start small by testing with one high volume, low risk use case to prove value with all of the stakeholders and make sure you have the buy-in and you have adoption, and the agents are also using something like order status or refund requests, tracking performance, gather agent feedback, and refine as you go. And finally, once you're really ready to roll it out, operationalize, because you've proven the value and you can scale with structure. So creating a rollout plan, training the teams, and using the AI Insights Hub that we've just seen to monitor what's working, to learn where you can iterate, to even take more advantage of the automation. And I guess that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. All right, Jakub, what features of Copilot will be the most impactful for small teams?
Thanks for the question. So, I think you have to consider your ticket volumes and what those tickets are about, and you can leverage, for example, intents for this, and then you should actually try looking into those different types of tickets and think on how you could use different features of Copilot to help you with solving them. So I think the most value in Copilot, Adam, comes from intelligent triage and auto assist, because with intelligent triage, you can, for example, route tickets to the right team. So a person from your team wouldn't have to do this, because as soon as you create those rules that Magda showed, tickets would be routed automatically, and then you can create procedures or articles that would help with solving of those tickets through auto assist. And we collectively think that those two are the biggest value unlockers in the add-on. But we don't have to discount other features. We have things like enhanced writing features, which are loved by agents. So they can rewrite your reply. So, for example, make it a bit nicer, a bit more formal. There's also ability to transform your replies into virtually anything, because agents can create a custom request. So, for example, they can change a reply to sound like a pirate if they really want this. And maybe those are small productivity gains, but if you multiply this by the amount of tickets that the agents have to handle, that really adds up. So I think it's really best to think about what problems your agents are dealing with, and then just using the right tool to help them with it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jakub. Lots of tools your agents can use and have access to. Not sure everybody wants to sound like a pirate, but the fact that it's available is kind of fun. All right, another one for you, Jakub. Is there a way for Copilot can instruct teams on what to do outside of Zendesk?
Sure. So I think there are two ways that I would go about this, and both were demonstrated. So one would be the instructions to agents. So again, anything that Auto Assist or Copilot cannot do within Zendesk, you can put into the instruction, and then your agent can go and do it. And another way would be to create those custom actions and action flows, and have Auto Assist execute this on behalf of your agents. Again, it takes a bit of configuration, but once you do it, once it works, every time this action has to be executed, it will be executed by the AI system instead of your agent. So I think those are the two most powerful ways to do it.
Perfect. Thanks, Jakub. And again, we'll be sending out resources to some of the answers to these questions in our post-event follow-ups. All right. They keep coming at you. Jakub, does Copilot learn over time based on the actions taken by agents? And are its responses tailored to the specific agent in the moment? based on activity from all agents?
Sure. So the answer to this is a bit complex, so bear with me. So it doesn't learn in real time because everything we do with OpenAI, with the provider of the LLM behind Auto Assist and some Copilot features, we don't really store this information on OpenAI servers because of the privacy. Respecting of your privacy. So that means some of the features can actually learn with time. But what we are doing is we're, for example, looking into using your past similar solved tickets to solve new tickets. And with that, Copilot and some of its features are actually learning because they're learning based on your tickets. So for example, when we see a ticket, we are trying to find similar tickets that were solved and just take the response out of them. So that's one way Copilot is learning. There are also other ways that we are looking into to make this possible. So for example, we are always looking at suggestions that were not accepted or some suggestions that were edited, and we're trying to understand why from a high level perspective, and then we're working on improving Auto Assist and Copilot features so they are better and better and better. Another part of it is using better knowledge sources and then trying to combine them and use them better. So it's not directly learning because of the privacy respect of your data, but it's getting there. And the second portion of the question, we have a feature called tone of voice. So tone of voice is actually working on every ticket with Auto Assist, and it's looking at the tone in that ticket. So for example, what is the wording, what is the use of emojis, etc. And it's tailoring each suggestion based on this tone of voice in that given ticket. So again, if someone is really serious, Auto Assist will pick it up and it will make sure that it's matching the tone. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. If not, I'm happy to elaborate. Sure. So I think for macros, there are two ways, and one of them is shipping in June, and you will be able to use macros in Auto Assist. So Auto Assist will be able to basically execute actions as soon as your agent approves them. So when the time in the ticket lifecycle is right, Auto Assist will suggest, hey, this is the macro you should use, and when the agent approves it, it will be executed. So that's one way. Another way is, of course, using macros as a source of replies and actions. So we can, we're exploring looking into macros and trying to extract procedures out of them. So that's another way we can leverage macros. And maybe there's a third way. It's in suggested first replies. So in suggested first replies, we very often suggest you a first response to a ticket based on the macro that should be used on that ticket. Because very often a first reply to a ticket is a macro. So we've built a feature that is trying to predict what macro should be used on each ticket and just suggest this macro to the agent in the composer. So they only have to press tab to execute this macro. And in terms of actions, I think what I showed in actions and action flows, this is the best way to save time of your agents, because again, you configure some actions and action flows once, and then you reap the benefits of just your agents approving them when the time is right.
Thanks, Jakub. All right, one more for you. I'd like strategic recommendations on maintenance across macros and Auto Assist. And then just to follow up, how should one think about the relationship between macros and Auto Assist?
Sure. So I'm going to start with the second part. So I think macros, we all have a lot of macros on our Zendesk instances, and I think that's great. They are helpful in a lot of the cases, but I think where customer support is going is that we want something better. We want something more flexible. We want something that the agent doesn't have to search for, etc. So I think for now it's okay that both coexist, but I think Auto Assist will start cannibalizing macros because you will have a lot of suggestions that are coming from Auto Assist that are based either on your procedures, your articles, your macros, etc. So I think there will be less and less need for macros. It's not going to happen in a few months. It's going to be a long process, but I think this is where this will be going. So I think if you still need macros, that's of course perfectly fine. I would start thinking on how you can use them in Auto Assist, and at some point I believe you will not need as many macros as you currently have. And the first part of the question, I'm not quite sure what this is about. So if the person who asked it is here and would like to provide more input, I'd love it, but I'm gonna take a guess. So I think this question is about like, how do you decide what you put into macros? How do you decide what you put into Auto Assist? So I think if you have some replies or some tickets that only require like one response to solve them, I think macros are still a great way to do it. So I'd probably suggest to just do macros. But if you have tickets that require a lot of back and forth to solve, those are the best for Auto Assist. I hope that was the intention behind this question. If not, please let me know.
Thanks, Jakub. Take a little breather, get some water, because the next one's for Alex. Alex, how does Copilot support the employee service scenario?
Yeah, and thank you, Jakub, for giving all of that insight. And thanks, Katerina, for this question. Yeah, so when it comes to employee service, Copilot really does help too. It's also service and getting to resolutions, but from the employee side of things. So things like HR, payroll, IT, this is where Copilot can really help by taking a lot of the repetitive manual work off any of the team's plate. Think things like approval, task checklists, pulling data from other HR systems, those things that really eat up time and are easy to miss. So Copilot can really help with all of that. It just handles all of that in the background, so the team can really focus on other high-level tasks, and it can connect directly, again, like I mentioned, to external HR systems like Workday. So there's no like jumping around. And it can really include, again, the steps and the trigger actions similar that we've seen that Jakub does, but this time from the point of view of employee service. For example, like updating an employee record or kicking off an hardware order right from within Zendesk. So all within that employee service scenario and use case. And another thing that's super useful is Copilot's ability to surface suggestions as well. It can pull from the knowledge base, ticket history, and even all of the external content and suggest the next best step based on the issue. So these is huge for things like payroll issues where accuracy really matters. So it helps the folks a lot quicker. Yeah, so whether you're dealing with onboarding, tech support, HR requests, Copilot really makes those workflows to be a lot more efficient and less of an headache, similar to the.
Okay. I think we lost you there for a bit, Alex, but I think you were.
Oh, no.
No,
really?
But it's okay. I think you were coming towards the end of your comment. So thank you for answering that. Move on. Liv, which data sets is prompt-based reporting available for?
Great question. So at launch, we are focusing on the support ticket data set, and then we will add the all the other data sets following the launch.
Thank you, Liv. Jakub, you're back on. How can Copilot speed up an agent reply and messaging when a conversation is happening in real time?
Sure. So I'll answer from the perspective of Auto Assist, and then maybe think about other ways Copilot can do it. So in terms of Auto Assist, usually when agents work with messaging tickets, they work with multiple messaging tickets, like around 4, 3, 5, sometimes more. So Auto Assist can, help with this and basically allow the agent to work with even more tickets at the same time. Because as the agent waits for a suggestion from Auto Assist, they can go to another ticket to, for example, review a suggestion or maybe approve an action, etc. So that's one way. And there are other, features that can be helpful depending on the problem that the agent is facing. So maybe if they are, typing something really fast, they could use the expand function of enhanced writing. So they can just write a few bullet points with the facts or the most important information, and then just expand it to a more fully fledged response, or they can again change the tone of it, etc. If they're trying to maybe see what other tickets this customer has, they can go to merging suggestions and see if the customer reached out about this problem in the past, and just merge the tickets so they don't have to solve multiple tickets about the same thing from the customer. There are also similar solved tickets. So if the agent is struggling and trying to understand like how to solve this ticket, if there are similar solved tickets, we will expose this in the related tickets panel on the right hand side, and then the agent can just review them and reuse the answer. Yeah, so I think that's probably my my biggest bet for this use case.
Perfect, thank you. All right, is reporting able to show how many times the AI tool the tools were not successful in helping an agent?
Somewhat, yes. So the Explore dashboard that we'll be launching in middle of June will allow you to, for example, see the acceptance rate of Auto Assist per different procedures or different agents, and you will be able to view tickets that maybe where the agents, for example, like took over from Auto Assist, so they stopped it, and you will be able to see why this happened, like where did it happen, and like why, and you will be able to use this knowledge to improve your procedures or maybe create more articles. So that's about Auto Assist, and I think I'm trying to think what are the features of Copilot like have a clear definition of success, because for Auto Assist there is like either you accept something or you don't. And for example, for other, I think it's much harder. So for example, for enhanced writing, it will be pretty hard to say if a suggestion to rephrase something was successful or not, because we would have to understand if the agent fully accepted it or maybe they changed a bit. So that's a bit more tricky. So I would love to understand, what features would you like, to understand this about, and then we could brainstorm how to see if they're successful. But yeah, I think not everything here is like we're not able to do it for all of our features.
And I think that makes a lot of sense, but the ability to see acceptance rate, and you said sometime in June, that's going to be pretty cool. All right, will you be developing a toggle switch for Auto Assist that only offers a suggestion if a defined process is found?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are thinking about this problem a lot. So the problem here is that sometimes Auto Assist will suggest responses that are not based on a procedure. So sometimes it's like too eager to help, and it will try to do it even if it doesn't know how to really help, and that's not always correct. So what we will be doing is that it will be possible to connect procedures with intents. So for example, if you have a ticket with intent about order cancellation, you will be able to say, hey, use this order cancellation procedure with this ticket. So that will, make sure that Auto Assist is following the right procedure. We of course still want to maintain its flexibility. So if the topic will change, it will still be able to change to a different topic. But this initial connection will make sure that it's following the process much more strictly. And we are also, looking into other ways to minimize the amount of cases where Auto Assist is, trying to help, but it really shouldn't. It should just say, hey, I don't know how to help. So this is pretty complex problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. And we have to make this better. We're looking into multiple potential solutions, but we're starting with intents. Another thing we're looking into is also allowing procedures to be connected to tags. So for example, if you have, some specific group of tickets that has a specific tag, maybe this is some very, very, well-defined problem you have, you could create a procedure for those tickets, and, only this procedure would be used on these tickets. So that's how we're starting, but I think this will not fully solve this problem. So we'll be looking into other ways to make this better.
Thanks, Jakub. I appreciate the transparency. I know the community does too. All right. So folks, we've got 2 more questions, and both are related to roadmap. We'll be wrapping up here shortly. So from the Copilot side, Alex, could you answer what enhancements we're rolling out for Copilot?
Yeah, really quickly. 3 things that I want to speak to on a high level. One of them, the second, Jakub just mentioned, has been mentioning the Agent Assist dashboard from Copilot, where you'll be able to see a lot of those analytics related to how the agents are using all of the Agent Assist features, as well as their success, in that case, the ones that we are able to detect that, obviously. Which is really great. It's going to have a lot of information in 3 tabs, and it's coming out. And I know it's something that everyone has really been asking about. The first thing that we have here is we're improving our recommendations that also Magda showed, and we're going to be hopefully making them to include pre-filled trigger fields and a feedback loop to improve accuracy, and also expand hopefully the coverage for features within Auto Assist as well. And then looking even more ahead, we're hoping to expand Copilot to support voice, so we can analyze the conversations and surface the next action recommendations as well in real time for voice, based on those transcripts. So these are the 3 things that we wanted to highlight, but there's a lot more coming up, and a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement around Copilot. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. And I was seeing in the QA some questions around Copilot for voice. So exciting to see this in the roadmap. All right, Liv, what about for analytics?
Thanks for asking, Ashley. So our analytics roadmap is all about empowering users to uncover insights and make meaningful actions on their Zendesk data. And today you heard about the prompt-based reporting, but we're also super excited about our enhancements to our real-time monitoring capabilities. So these, we believe, will be real game changers for taking proactive action with data. And real-time monitoring will start with 3 omnichannel dashboards based on common service use cases. They will provide both real-time and recent historical, so past 7-day insights into email messaging and voice metrics, alongside with workforce management and QA data. And the first 3 dashboards that are coming will cover incoming tickets, ticket progress, and agent productivity. So look out for them.
Exciting. All right, folks, we're at time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I want to give a major shout out and thanks to all of our speakers and experts today. And even those working behind the scenes, there were a lot of questions in the QA. Thank you, audience, for submitting your questions there too. So shout out to Patricia, Rob, David, Guido. Am I missing anyone? All of the folks helping. Thank you so much for your help. And yeah, thank you, audience, for being here. Again, this is our third of the Relate Deep Dive series. Next one will be on Contact Center. So thanks for being here today, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you. Bye.